Hip-hop since 1987.com.
That's a pretty rare and unique situation in our league. And as an organization, we're constantly embracing ways to improve everything we do, you know, from coaching to scouting to training, and obviously our roster. And so, you know, as the coach, to have 11 returning players and then also make significant additions is very unique and exciting for me. So, you know, it kind of leads into how great we feel about our summer. You know, the addition of Dwight Howard is obviously something that we feel is going to have a big impact on both ends of the court. Re-signing Kent Bazemore, you know, who established himself as a starter and somebody that we feel is just going to get better and better. The addition of 2 first-round draft picks that we're very excited about. And then some veterans, you know, in Jared Jack and Malcolm Delaney. You know, so I think when you put it all in total, you know, we value continuity, but I think we also really value the additions and the changes that we've made. So we're looking forward to a great year. Questions? I told the team one of my goals was to be better with the media.
With Dennis Schroder kind of leading at the point guard position, will we see change there as well offensively? Will it be as much ball sharing, or do you think it'll be more of an individual creativity going on?
No, I think the hope is to integrate, you know, both Dwight and obviously Dennis's new role into, you know, everything that I think we've become, you know, kind of our identity and our core principles of playing unselfishly, playing with ball movement. You know, with Dennis, that's the exciting thing about him taking the next step in his career. He's been with us for 3 years. He knows everything that we expect, that I expect of him. So I think it's a very natural progression for Dennis. And I think Dwight, you know, his basketball IQ, his understanding, I think he's a great teammate. You know, I think there's going to be a lot of things that look and feel very similarly, just you know, with Dwight and Dennis bringing their unique talents to what we've established over the last few years.
And one more quick question with Dwight. He's got a pretty nice jump shot, so will we see him shooting the ball a lot?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's great to watch Dwight work. You know, I think we're excited about giving Dwight, you know, an opportunity to grow his game and improve his game, just like we do with all of our players. And I think Dwight's putting in the time and effort, and how we can make him the best, you know, for himself individually and for us as a team. If you can shoot and make shots, that's something I always welcome, or we welcome. And you know, so finding a balance of taking, you know, he's obviously great physical force on the rim and in the paint. But if there's opportunities and we learn and he learns that, you know, he can make shots, it's as long as the ball goes in, that's what's most important.
Coach Brandon Lee, Sports Radio 680 The Fan. Your thoughts on what you anticipate your rebounding to look like this year, and also what the addition of a veteran like Jared Jack does to your defense and also to your bench?
Yeah, you know, obviously I think rebounding is something that we feel like is going to be positively impacted, you know, not just with Dwight's addition, but I think, you know, hopefully, you know, more of an effort, you know, including maybe from some schematic things that we can do to hopefully improve our rebounding. It's an area where, you know, we're strong in a lot of others, and that's the area where we look and we can see the most obvious area for improvement, and that's the most obvious area where Dwight can have a great positive impact. For Jared Jack, we're excited about his leadership, his, you know, I think he's going to add a lot on both ends, just understanding the game, his IQ, ability to kind of quickly integrate himself, and I think he's kind of the perfect fit with Dennis and with our group.
Terrell Thomas, hip hop since 1987. Over the last few years, we've seen a lot of teams going to the small ball method. And this year, it seems like the Hawks have a lot of wing players and guards who can play multiple positions. Will we see a lot of small ball in the Hawks lineup this year?
I wouldn't say that's part of our thinking. Going into the season, you always have to be prepared to adjust and find ways to take advantage of your players. But I think that's one of the unique things about Paul, and that we would play what I would consider more traditional bigs and more traditional lineups because Paul can guard other teams' smaller players and then take advantage of them on the other end. And I think Dwight is going to be similar. I think our inside is going to be a strength, and you want to play to your strengths. So, other teams may feel like small ball is their strength, and there may be an occasional night where we do that. But I think when you have Dwight and Paul, usually that's where your strength is centered, and I would anticipate seeing a lot of just our traditional bigs.
Bud, what's going to look different about the offense with Howard as opposed to Horton?
Well, obviously, I think Dwight is such a physical force at the rim and in the paint. I still think there's so much of the NBA and our offense is generated through pick and rolls, and so I think in the pick and roll game, him rolling and putting pressure on the rim is going to make the offense even more efficient, more effective, because he's going to be able to collapse weak side defense and collapse help and create opportunities for shooters. And so I think it's a credit to our group in the past how they found ways to be efficient offensively, given what we had. But I think Dwight's just that ability to roll to the rim and play pick and roll is going to give us a lot of opportunities.
But Anthony Amy, WSB TV, you mentioned the continuity with the returning players, but at the same time you're losing two former All-Stars who have been entrenched here for a long time. Do you feel that the curiosity factor might actually help you all, considering you had guys that were here prior to your arrival and now you'll have to fill those holes?
Well, I think first, obviously, a lot of respect, a lot of appreciation for everything that Al and Jeff did during their years here. I'm not sure curiosity is not one of the thoughts that's gone through my head, but I think we're excited about what Dwight brings to our team and what Dennis as a starter can do for our team. And I think the entire locker room, and we talked about 11 players coming back. I think there's a real I think there's a belief and an excitement and a commitment to the changes that we've made. So I guess there may be some little curiosity. I'm sure the community and everybody at large is curious to see how it works. But I think our group is pretty committed to it and pretty excited about it.
Coach Marcelo, 97 The Game. As far as Taurean and DeAndre, when you go into training camp, is there a plan to try to get them accelerated forward faster and get them in the starting lineup, or is that going to be dictated by their play? And if they can rise to that level, is there an option to move maybe Ken over into the 2 and play him there as well if they can play on the wing?
Well, I think the wings, the depth of our wings and the quality of our wings has been really improved with the addition of Taurean and DeAndre. I think we're very excited about the summers that both of them have had. And that's what training camp's for. We're going to go up there. I think it's going to be a really competitive training camp. I think the wings are going to be going at each other. And how we decide to kind of mix and match and find a way to manage a game, manage a season. I know we're very excited about the quality and the depth of those positions. And whether Bays is playing more 2 or how we do it, the wings are somewhat interchangeable for us, and I think they're all good defenders and all capable of doing a lot of things.
When you talk about how competitive this training camp is going to be, do you have a plan as far as the exhibition games? You don't need to see a Kyle Korver, so can we expect some of the newer players to play a lot more during the exhibition season?
Yeah, I think that's fair to maybe assume, or that we will try and get some of these younger players more opportunities, and but I think it's every team has a similar mindset, and there's some things that you feel confident what Cal Korver brings every night and every game, every practice. So I don't think it's going to be a significant variance from what we've done in the past or what other teams do in the preseason. But I know we're excited about seeing, on the wing, Taurean and DeAndre. And there are other places with Malcolm, new to the NBA, but, a little bit older. So, I would say anticipate a pretty normal preseason with minutes.
Charles Odom with AP. Can you update us on Millsap? And I know we were told he'll miss the first 2 preseason games, but how will you handle him, and how slowly do you plan to take him through camp?
Yeah, we're very feel good about what Paul has done for his knee, and for I think finding a way to keep him most healthy and most ready, for opening night for the entirety of the season. We'll see how the next 10 days to 14 days go, and we've kind of erred on the side of caution. Not just in the preseason, but in the regular season. I think we'll take a big picture, long-term look with Paul, but I think there's a lot of confidence that he'll be ready to go as we work our way through the preseason and get ready for opening night.
Coach Brandon Lee, again, 680 The Fan. Your thoughts on the new Hack-A-Shaq, Hack-A-Howard rule changes, and also your thoughts on how Dwight's free throw percentages may affect the way you have to coach games at the end?
Well, I think the league is taking a step towards reducing the intentional fouling and away from the ball, and I think when you have a player like Dwight that can have the impact that he does on both ends of the court, I think in an ideal world, Dwight's going to improve as a free throw shooter this year. I think the time and effort that he's put in this summer, and that he's going to put in daily, I'm going to enter the season with a lot of confidence in Dwight in a lot of different areas, and he's going to be critical to our success, and we'll learn how to manage a game and make sure that he's having as big impact as he can.
But Anthony, Amy, WSB, one more time. With everything that's going on in society right now, in professional and college sports, even down to the high school level, with some of the athletes protesting, showing certain actions during the National Anthem, is that something, I read that the league and the Players Association are in talks right now as to how they can possibly come to a collective thought as to how to handle that. Do you get involved at all as coaches? Is that something that you address with the team? Did you all meet, talk about that yet? Or is that something that you anticipate will come?
Well, I think, just like a lot of the things that are happening with players in all the different leagues, hopefully we've started a conversation with our players, not just about what's happening, during national anthems, but what's happening in our country. And we will be incredibly supportive of our players, our ownership, our organization, myself as the coach and president, and Wes as our general manager. I think we want to be supportive of our players. I think, it makes me think that the more thoughtful, the more respectful we can be. If we're those two things, our country will be better. And so, I think our players have always been both of those things, and however it is they choose to do those, I will, and the organization will support them, and I think it's just going to be a continuing conversation, and hopefully our country just will get better going forward because of the conversation.